Hello and welcome to Hot Tea with Holly. I am Holly and I am having a very hot cup of tea today. Let's start that over. Welcome to Hot Tea with Holly. I'm Holly and I'm having a hot cup of tea today. Say that 5 times. So today is a PG tips kind of day and I am a PG tips black tea kind of girl. That is what we are having. Although today I decided to go straight PG tips, super hot and boiling, and I actually didn't put any maple syrup in today. So normally I put maple syrup into my PG tips, but all of my other tea I drank straight. And so today I decided I needed to clean up my act a little bit. So I cut out the maple syrup for now. How are you? Hello, I'm Holly and I'm here every Tuesday at this time, 1 p.m. on the East Coast, over on Facebook on Holly Perkins Fitness on Facebook if you ever want to join me live. So I've got some friends who are here with me now joining me live. And if you are here, please say hello. And if you're watching this in playback, hello, how are you? Today I have an awesome conversation. How many times have you asked the question, I wonder how long it takes, ... So today I have for you 6 answers to the question, how long does it take? The inspiration for this came last week. I had an interview with a well-known women's magazine, which I'm sure you know. I won't reveal that right now. And part of the story was, how long does it take? And I was like, gosh, I get this question a lot in a lot of different varieties. And so today I'm going to be answering your questions. How long does it take? And I've got 6 different answers to that question for you so that by the end of today's session, you're going to walk away knowing exactly how long it takes so that you can start putting your time and energy into taking the actions you need to be taking to get you to your goals, rather than consuming any of your mind, body, or spirit bandwidth energy on, I wonder how long it takes. Now, one quick little disclaimer, I think underneath this question, how long it takes, is a never-ending desire for things to happen quickly. Am I right? I think there's something to human nature where we take action on something and within a day or 2 or a week, it feels like we've been taking action for so long and we feel like the results should be here already. Is that true? Does that land for you? If so, let me know. And I catch myself doing this sometimes. So if I've been off track with my workouts or my nutrition and I say, okay, today is the day that I'm going to dial it in, I'm going to get into better habits again, and I will put in all of my effort, say for 4 or 5 days, inevitably, the question crosses my mind, gosh, darn it, when am I going to start seeing the results of all of my efforts? Because it feels like I've been doing this forever when it's really only been a handful of days. Can you resonate with that? I know you can, because if it happens for me, it's got to be happening for you as well. And it does happen for me. I think because this is a question that so many of us ask, I think it's very natural to be taking action on something and to want the feedback immediately. This is called instant gratification. And depending on how you were either raised to understand the concept of instant gratification and delayed gratification, but most of us were not. Most of us, for whatever reason, were in an environment where instant gratification was given to us, whatever it is. And one of the best secrets to life is delayed gratification. It really is true when it comes to your body and changing your health, whether that is to be healthier, to recover from some kind of a health condition or some kind of a disease, to reverse, let's say, some weight gain that it took you 20 years to gain, or whether it's to build muscle, get lean, and get in shape. It takes time. It always takes time, but we're so used to, in our normal daily life, getting instant gratification on things. If we're hungry, we can generally eat. If we want something done, we can usually get it done. We live in an instant gratification world because humans are really built for that. We love it. We do not like to have to delay something we want. And that is the hot tip for Hot Tea with Holly today, because if you can harness this concept of knowing that your goals are not going to happen like that, despite what the media has told you. And I am so sorry that there are people out there in the media and in the marketing world who want your click on the internet. And so they tell you stories about lose 5 pounds in 5 minutes, lose 50 pounds in 5 days. I'm exaggerating, but you've seen those headlines where it's really like, you know, even a colleague of mine in the industry wrote a book along the lines of, I think it was 10 pounds in 10 days. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Extreme measures rarely work, but we live in a world where we want instant gratification. So today I'm going to be answering, how long does it take? And I've got 6 of those questions for you that I'm going to be answering. But you've got to understand at the end of the day, how long it takes depends on how long you're willing to put in sustained and consistent effort. If you're able to put in sustained, consistent, focused effort nonstop, things are going to change quickly. And I will answer that question in a couple of minutes. But if you are on it today and on it tomorrow, but then you get a little splurgy over the weekend and you get a little off track, that is inconsistent. And any inconsistency does delay how fast it takes ... to get the thing that you're going after. Hello to my friends Heidi and Holly and Lois and Anita. Today, Heidi is having sweet ginger citrus turmeric vitality by Yogi Tea. That sounds delicious and complicated. Sweet ginger, citrus turmeric. Ooh, I'm curious how the citrus goes with the turmeric. And if you're having a hot beverage with me today, I hope you will share. Cheers. My black tea is officially at the perfect temperature. So let's jump in. 6 answers to how long does it take? So the first question is, how long does it take to start seeing results? I get this every single week. Almost every single time I get interviewed by the media, there is always the question, how long does it take to start seeing results from whatever the theme of the story is? Every single time. And I've come to really get frustrated by this question because it's not a simple answer. It really is more complicated, but I'm going to give you my best answer for every single one of these 6 questions on how long does it take. How long does it take to start seeing results? The first thing you have to understand is, what actions are you taking? Are you following the right strategy for what you want? So if you're trying to lose weight, are you following the right strategy for your specific goals? Are you trying to build muscle? Are you following the right strategy for your specific goals? If you are following the right strategy, how long does it take to start seeing results? The truth is, you're going to start seeing some evidence of results almost immediately. And it does depend on what we're talking about here. But let me explain what I mean. So when it comes to taking action and going after your goals, let's say get fit or lose weight, the truth is that is not the only sign of results. Whatever your ultimate goal is, I think you could probably also realize that there are some associated benefits that come along with you reaching your goal of getting fit or of getting lean. And so those other benefits, those results, if you will, if you pay attention, a lot of times they show up immediately. And what I'm talking about here are results like an enhanced feeling of self-mastery. If you are taking action to get fit or to get lean, even one day of taking action, the next day, you're going to feel some level, some improvement of feeling better about this topic, of feeling better about your own mastery of taking action, and other results of things like feeling better. If you eat great today in your goal of getting leaner, you're going to feel it tomorrow. You are going to begin to see some evidence of results tomorrow. You're probably going to wake up feeling a little better. You're probably going to wake up feeling like your tummy feels a little less bloated. You're going to wake up feeling more energized. You'll start seeing results almost immediately if you're looking at all of the associated benefits that you're collecting on the path to getting your ultimate goal, whatever that result is. Now, with that being said, I so strongly encourage you to focus on those glimpses of progress that you're seeing each day and start adding them up. Oh, my legs feel firmer. Oh, my back feels strong today. Oh, I feel like I'm standing taller. My energy is better. Wow, I slept better last night. Ooh, this workout feels more energized because I was on my nutrition programming. Start paying attention to the benefits that you're seeing as you're on the path to the ultimate goal, which is the result. So the answer to how long does it take to start seeing results, you'll start seeing results immediately. And each day that you stack on top of your actions, you're going to see more and more results. Now, if you're looking to get fit, get stronger, and build muscle, and you are consistent in your actions, you're going to start seeing results in about a week. 7 to 10 days. You're going to hear me say this several times throughout today's session. 7 to 10 days, in my experience, is about the shortest amount of time to start seeing real results. Whether it's feeling tighter, feeling leaner, maybe seeing the scale change, maybe getting stronger in your workout, 7 to 10 days is about when you will start to see results. Now, what you have to remember, which is so important, and I see this happen all the time inside of my group coaching programs, women will start to see results, but they almost stop themselves from getting excited about the result by saying, well, I do feel better today, but I'm not where I want to be. And so it becomes this frustrating process of, but I'm not there yet. Rather than worrying about if you're there at your goal, I so encourage you to focus on the results that you're seeing every single day, because that's going to motivate you to take better action tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day, if you're focusing on the starting to see results and the results that you're seeing. How long does it take to start seeing results? You're going to see it immediately if you pay attention. And if you want tangible, measurable results, somewhere between 7 to 10 days, depending on the results that we're talking about here. If it's getting fit, if it's losing weight, if it's getting leaner, if it's building muscle. 7 to 10 days is when you're going to start to see potentially some measurable, actual measurable results. Yes, I keep playing with my bangs because my eyelashes keep sticking in my bangs. My stick-on face false eyelashes, by the way, keep getting stuck in my bangs. So I keep correcting them and then they get all jumbled and I can't stand it. Troubles that we have with bangs. So cheers. If you're just popping in, hello, welcome to Hot Tea with Holly. I am Holly. I'm here live every Tuesday at 1 o'clock on the East Coast, Holly Perkins Fitness on Facebook. And then if you're watching this in playback, you might be finding me on YouTube or over on my blog. So good to see you. Welcome to the community. If you're having a hot beverage with me today, do share. I love to know. One of the hardest things about having a hot beverage with you is talking and juggling that with taking a sip of my delicious beverage. Lois is having American Buzz mixed with green sencha. Thanks to Heidi. Shout out there for our favorite recipe. I had it yesterday. Absolutely delicious. So my favorite, absolutely, outside of my beloved PG Tips. Almost every day includes a day of PG Tips. And we are talking about 6 answers to the question, how long does it take? Answer number 2, you'll love this one. How long does it take to lose weight? Get your notebooks out, because this one is going to help you so much if you really understand these concepts. As I said with number 1, how long does it take to lose weight is similar to start seeing results. So if you pay attention and you're on the right program to lose weight, you're probably going to start to notice glimpses of your body moving in the right direction almost immediately, depending on the action that you're taking. So absolutely, it depends on being on the right strategy. If you're not on the right strategy, it's going to take longer to see results if you get them at all. Let me give you an example. How long does it take to lose weight? In my experience, being on the receiving end of your phone calls, I often hear this: well, low carb or a ketogenic diet, I hear, is the way to lose weight. So I'm doing a ketogenic diet and lots of cardio. And in my experience, again, 30 years of coaching women, that's actually not a great strategy for losing weight. And when I talk about losing weight, I'm really talking about the prioritization of a lower body weight on the scale, with that being your end-all be-all goal. Because to get fit and get lean and build muscle and lose weight, those are competing intentions. So again, it comes back to your strategy. If your top priority is to see a lower number on the scale, and it might be very important for your health to achieve that, you have to be on a program and using a strategy that does that. And so in the example that I used, a low carb or ketogenic diet alongside lots of cardio generally doesn't work. Now, if you're here and that worked for you in a sustainable way, let me know, because it might have worked for you for a week or 2 weeks. But are you still doing it? And is it still actually working for you? And are you thriving in the absence of other issues like food cravings, mood swings, brain fog? Those kind of things might point to the fact that it's actually not working for you. So again, if your number 1 goal is to achieve a lower body weight on the scale, please know that that might be a very self-loving, positive thing that you can do for your future self in terms of your health. That might be very important for you. I generally have a rule. I don't know if it's a rule, but a philosophy around here where if you're within about 8 to 10 pounds of your goal body weight, it's actually not a weight loss story. It's a body composition story. So if you're within about 8 to 10 pounds, focusing on building muscle and reducing body fat will get you leaner and smaller, but the scale might not necessarily move the way that you want it to move, but you're going to end up in a much better place. So I generally teach people to get as close to their ideal body weight as possible. But if you're within 8 to 10 pounds, you might think this is a weight loss story. It's actually not. Weight loss really, to me, is for people who need to lose more than 10 pounds because your body composition and your body fat is pointing to the possibility and the increased risk of common diseases. And the higher your body fat, the more you're likely to adopt some of the common diseases that we face these days. So the short answer, how long does it take to lose weight? I'm going to give you the short answer. If you're on the right strategy and you are consistent, if you put your head down and you follow the program to a T and you do that every single day, you're going to start seeing the scale moving, start seeing the scale move within 7 to 10 days. Absolutely. In fact, I think you can see a drastic shift in about 10 days. And depending on what your nutrition or your diet approach was like before you start a program, you might even start seeing weight loss in just a few days. So right now, I have a group coaching program running behind the scenes that I don't talk about a whole lot to my, kind of public front-facing community. This program is called the Masters. It's not a program that I offer to the public. It's a very exclusive high-level mastermind that is only offered to people who have worked with me before, either privately or inside of one of my programs, like the Nutrition Project, the Glutes Project, the Comeback, the Next Level, any one of my programs. So I don't really talk about it publicly, because it's just not open for the general public. You have to have already learned the Holly Perkins language before you can even be invited to this small elite group. We had a coaching call last night, and one of my newer masters reported that in the past, let me get this right, because I know one of them is here on the call with me. I want to get my details right. I can't remember exactly who it was, but it was either within 6 or 7 days, has already lost 5 pounds. And Heidi, don't reveal who it was, if you know who I'm talking about. Heidi is inside of the Masters, you guys. Heidi is here with us on the live feed, so don't reveal who it was, because I do want to keep that person anonymous. But one of my masters, within about a week of being inside of the right strategy for her goal, shared with us last night that she dropped 5 pounds. Someone else, I think, had dropped 3 pounds just in 6 or 7 days since we started the program. Yeah, 6 or 7 days, because we kicked off 1 week ago today. And already, I think I'm right. And 2 weeks ago, sorry, 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks, approximately 2 weeks, has already taken off about 5 pounds. I might be off on my timeline a little. Clearly, I'm confused because time, like I am in the time warp. No, it was just a week ago. You guys, I have so much going on in my business right now that a day feels like a week. So yes, just a week ago, we kicked off the Masters on February 1st, and today is February 8th. So this person dropped 5 pounds in about a week. So I say that because I want to illuminate the fact that if you're on the right program and you take action every single day to be on the program, you're going to lose weight within a few days. And if you're on the right program, you can see it as soon as 7 to 10 days, the weight will start to move. Now, something to keep in mind is that weight loss on the scale generally happens in cycles. It doesn't go down, 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 down every day, every week, down, 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 down. It generally goes down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down. It usually happens in cycles. And again, I don't know if there's research to support this. There might be. I haven't done that research yet. But in my experience of coaching women for 30 years, this is what I see. When a client is on it diligently, those cycles are 10 to 14 days. If they're on it and they're doing everything right and we're manipulating all of the different variables, especially your energy intake versus your energy expenditure, it's about a 10 to 14 day cycle where you'll go up, down, down, 10 to 14 days, up, down, down, 10 to 14 days, up, down, down. But when you do it through the method I teach, that down can sometimes be 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. It can be a substantial loss. So how long does it take to lose weight? It depends on where you're starting. It depends on the strategy you're following. If you're on the right strategy, you'll probably see it within a few days, 1 pound, 0.5 pound. And within 7 to 10 days, you will start to see definitive movement if you're on the right program. Question number 3, how long does it take to lose gains? This is another question I get so frequently, to lose gains. Now, what do gains mean? Generally, it means an improvement in your fitness, or an increase in your lean muscle mass. How long does it take to lose that? It depends on what you're doing. If you were to be on a program that got you fit, that got you healthy, that built your muscle, got you more fit, and you just stopped, it would take, again, about 7 to 10 days to begin losing the gains that you had got in the programming. You're going to start to lose some of the measurement of your cardiovascular health and fitness more than health. You're going to start to lose some of your muscular strength that you had built up. You're going to start to lose some of your flexibility. After about 7 to 10 days is when you would begin to start losing your gains. So what I see happen a lot is my clients will go on vacation for a week and do nothing, or maybe a little bit of walking or a little bit of riding their bike, right? Basically nothing on vacation, and come back and think that they will have lost everything, but they don't. They get right back on it, and there really wasn't a huge drastic shift in their body. Now, if that turns into 2 weeks and then you come back from vacation and then there's another week where you're not getting back onto your program, it is about 7 to 10 days that process begins. So just like the process to get fit is a progression and to lose weight is a progression, losing the gains that you've gained is also a progression. The longer you are away from the stimulus that got you to your goal, the more you're going to lose your gains. The less you do during that time, the faster you're going to lose your gains. So let's say, for example, you are on a program, you're getting fit, you're losing weight, whatever it was, and you stop eating right and you stop exercising altogether, you will lose your gains faster. Now, if you stop, but you're kind of just inconsistent, but you're still a little active, you're kind of working out, but not exactly to the degree that got you where you wanted to be, that loss is going to be slower. It is still a linear and relative relationship. So it depends on what you were doing and what you stopped doing and the degree of how you stopped doing that you will start to lose your gains. And the short answer to how long does it take to lose gains, if you were to stop all of your good habits that got you to where you wanted to be, 7 to 10 days, you're going to start to see a definite shift in those gains that you got. And if you continue, it's going to be gone. 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to lose a significant amount of your progress, but complete loss is probably going to take a month or two. And that's really hard to say because, once again, it depends on what you are doing during that time. Question number 4, how long does it take to gain weight? This is a good one because a lot of times what you think is weight gain in the short term is actually just water retention in the form of inflammation. So if you've been on a program and you've achieved a certain body weight or body composition, body leanness or body fat percentage, and you shift away from those habits, depending on what you're doing, your body is going to have a substantial reaction pretty quickly. So in terms of gaining weight, hold on one second, losing my thought here. So in terms of gaining weight, again, it does have to do with what you were doing, what you're not doing now. But if you shift your habits and you see a quick change on the scale, because we're talking about gaining weight here. So let's say on Monday, you change your habits and the scale changes within a day or two and the scale starts going up. That is rarely real body fat that you're gaining. In the short term, again, 7 to 10 days It's generally a water redistribution, a water retention in the form of inflammation. This can also happen during, let's call it a effortful or very focused conditioning program. So if you're going after big gains and you are in a very substantial conditioning program, you're also going to see inflammation where the scale goes up, the scale goes down, the scale goes up, the scale goes down from inflammation. So in the short term, 7 to 10 days, if you see weight gain after changing your habits, it's not body fat gain. And I will explain why. It's just water redistribution or water retention as a result of your change in habits. Less exercise, different foods, more foods, splurgy foods, whatever it may be. You're going to see a water redistribution, and that would be inflammation. Now, the short answer to how long does it take to gain weight? Again, about 7 to 10 days. Now, what you have to remember when it comes to weight gain and weight loss, talking about it in the purest form, in terms of body fat gain, body fat loss, the purest of forms, weight loss, weight gain. You have to remember that is the result of a change in your energy balance. And what that means is body fat increase, body fat loss is related to a positive energy gain or a negative energy gain, an energy deficit or an energy surplus. That means, if you remember high school physics, energy is neither created nor destroyed. In this world that we live in, energy is transmuted. It's changed into a different form. So when you eat, you are getting energy in the form of calories from your food. And when you bring it in, that energy is getting transformed into what your body uses to think, to move, to digest, to keep your heart beating, to keep your brain thinking, to get you through your workouts, whatever it may be. This is an engine that needs energy. So bringing energy in versus the energy that this machinery needs to put out on a daily basis will create a net energy surplus or deficit, or potentially a maintenance. You could be at maintenance as well. So when it comes to gaining weight in the form of real gaining weight body fat or losing body fat, you have to remember that there still is this relationship of energy gain or loss that actually doesn't happen in a 7-day period or a 24-hour period. It is a relationship, and that changes from day to day until there has been a cycle that the body actually adapts to the change in energy. So when it comes to how long does it take to gain weight, if there is an energy surplus, you're eating more than you're expending, or you're expending less than you used to, there's going to be a cycle of time that you're in an energy surplus, and your body then eventually decides to respond to that or react to that. And that's a cycle. And we don't know what that cycle is, but in my experience, it's 7 to 10 days. 7 to 10 days. If you are, here's the program, and now you're on a different set of program or your different habits, and you change your habits and you stick with those habits consistently, 7 to 10 days, you will start to see true increases in body fat, roughly. Because 7 to 10 days is about enough of a cycle that your body will go, wow, we are not expending as much energy as we used to, or as much as we're taking in. Your body will hang out with that for a while, but then eventually it adapts to that. It responds to that. And this is the wonderful part of homeostasis that works in your favor. And that is why you can go on vacation and do nothing and come back 7 days later and not have lost much, if anything. You might gain 3 pounds from water retention and inflammation, like I just said a moment ago, but real body fat takes up longer. A real change in your body fat, a true 3-pound gain on the scale in body fat does not happen in 3 days. I don't care if you eat 10,000 calories a day for 3 days, your body's not going to turn that into body fat within 3 days. It needs more time before homeostasis goes, wow, she's given us a lot of calories. We don't know what to do with this. Let's start building more fat or making our fat cells larger. So it's a period of time, and it's usually 7 to 10 days to gain weight. And here I'm really talking about the concept of gaining weight through body fat specifically, because the next question, how long does it take to build muscle? So if you're just popping in live, hello, how are you? I have a now lukewarm cup of hot tea. It's no longer hot tea with Holly. Now it is lukewarm tea with Holly. That happens about 1/2 when I've been talking for a very long time. But welcome. How are you? Please share if you are having a hot beverage or a cold beverage, a caffeinated beverage, a hydrating neutral beverage. Do share while I fix my bangs a little bit. See, doesn't that just look so much better when I get them right where they need to be? It just looks so much better. But they're getting a little long, which looks good, but drives me absolutely bonkers. Facebook user, reveal yourself. Is that Elizabeth? Elizabeth says, I love this topic today. Well, I've got 2 more answers for you. Welcome to Hot Tea with Holly. If you are jumping in live, today I am I'm giving you 6 answers to the question, how long does it take? And you might have your own version of that. How long does it take to gain weight, lose weight, get lean, gain gains, lose gains? And I've got 2 more answers for you. I've already gone over 4. So welcome. This is a good one. This is such a good conversation. Patrina, hello. She's drinking blackberry and raspberry sparkling water. I love that. That sounds delicious. Kim Gatto, I'm having coffee today, but discovered a great tea with Ceylon and Indian black tea too. I don't have my glasses on. Can you tell? Oh my God. Great, but can't find it again. It was I see a new word, you guys. Kim, it was a Wysotsky tea. Kim, do share. What is Wysotsky? What's Wysotsky? Is that a brand name? I don't know what this is. So I will share with you guys, as I often say, I'm having PG Tips. And for those of you guys that don't know, PG Tips is a Ceylon. It is a black tea. That's a brand. Okay, Wysotsky. I don't know this brand. Thank you for sharing, Kim. I'm going to look it up. But I love, Ceylon is basically a light black tea from India. And a lot of the black teas that we tend to drink here in popular culture or in America generally come from India. And so I tend to love Ceylons, Assams, Darjeelings, all coming from India. I'm convinced I was Indian in one of my most recent past lives. Positive. Absolutely. You guys are going to giggle. I'm positive I was a very famous Bollywood star in one of my most previous lifetimes. Positive I was a Bollywood star. I know it. So I have such a deep love and draw to India. I went for almost a month several years ago, and I have the chills. I love India so much. So it's no surprise that I love all of the teas, the black teas that come from India. And then my green teas generally come from Japan, which means probably in a further lifetime ago, I was from Japan or that general region. Just a little aside for you guys to say. Okay, let's see. Wonderful. Let's go back on topic. If you're here with me live, we are talking about 6 answers to how long does it take? I've already answered 4. How long does it take to start seeing results, to lose weight, to lose gains, to gain weight? And the next is, how long does it take to build muscle? Guess what? It takes longer than 7 to 10 days. I'm not going to tell you 7 to 10 days on this one. This one is a big one, especially if you're a woman. And my gamble is you're a woman, because almost every single one of my viewers and people in my community is women. I pretty much only talk to women. I definitely have some men out there. But if you are a woman, how long does it take to build muscle? Come on in. Let's have a conversation, because this is an important one. And this is exactly why I've pretty much dedicated my career to helping women build muscle and use strength training to really create the body that you need to keep up with the life that you love. It all comes back to muscle building. So here's the deal. How long does it take to build muscle? Again, it depends on the program that you're on. If you are on the right program and the right strategy, and you are consistently exposing your muscles to harder, heavier weight loads, how long does it take to build muscle? I'm going to say the research will tell us 6 weeks at a minimum. Now, we see improvements in strength in 4 to 6 weeks, depending on your experience. If you are newer to strength training, you will gain muscle faster. If you are in about the first year to 18 months of your strength training practice, you're going to see muscle gain faster than someone who's been at it for a long time. So like for me, it's going to take me a little longer to build muscle because I've been at it for at least, 20 years, but really properly 12 years, truly properly 12 years. It's going to take longer for me to build muscle. But if you're on the right program, and I'm going to reiterate something, and you are exposing your body to consistently harder effort levels and weight loads, it's going to take about at least 6 weeks to see true increased weight from muscle gain. And it could take as much as 8 to 12 weeks, depending on the program that you're on. Again, a couple things. I say in my experience, there is research that talks about this, lots of research. But in my experience firsthand, working with real people in the real world, not in a research laboratory, and working with women who are not research subjects and who are not dedicating their entire life to building muscle, the fastest I have seen so far is 5 pounds in 12 weeks-ish, maybe 13 weeks, maybe 11 weeks, right? 5 pounds of lean muscle gain in about 12 weeks is the fastest I have seen. I'm not saying it can't be faster. That's just in my practice, the fastest that I've seen. I hope one of you in one of my group coaching programs or one of the masters will actually prove we could do more than 5 in 12 weeks. That'd be awesome. But even if you did 5 in 12 weeks, 3 cycles in a year, that could be 15 pounds in a year. Maybe. Now, the reason why I say you have to be exposing your body to harder, consistently, progressively harder and heavier weight loads is because, again, in my experience, I find that women, it's particularly challenging for us to build muscle because we don't have as much testosterone that makes it easier as compared to men, right? And isn't our world always relative to men if we stop and go down that rabbit hole, right? If this world only existed with women, I wouldn't even be able to say it's hard for us to gain muscle because there wouldn't be anything to relate it to. So unfortunately, I think we are in a world with men. And because the comparison of men to women, we don't gain muscle as fast as men. And historically, the body conditioning, physical conditioning, athleticism culture really was predominantly started by men and led by men. We are inevitably going to have to be comparing ourselves to men. So compared to men, we don't gain muscle as quickly as they do because of testosterone, or as easily as they do. So in my experience, there are different kinds of hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is when your actual muscle fibers get bigger. When they get bigger, they weigh more. That is what it means to build muscle. Your muscle fibers actually get bigger. Now, that is one form of hypertrophy. I'm not going to overload your brain. There's another kind of hypertrophy that is just a swelling of the fluid around those muscle cells. And again, in my experience, for women, gaining muscle works better when we are going after the kind of hypertrophy where your muscle fibers actually get bigger. And that kind of hypertrophy is dependent on heavier weight loads, being exposed to heavier work, not just harder or more work. The reason why I say this is because there are a lot of men in the field who will talk about high repetitions build muscle. And while that's absolutely true, it's more true for men. And I don't see it happen a whole lot for women when it comes to strength training. I also see what's called myofibrillar hypertrophy, building up the size of the muscles, works better for women. Full stop. So how long does it take to build muscle? Again, it depends on your program. It depends on how consistently you're taking action. It also depends on your nutrition and your energy surplus or energy deficit, and really to the degree that you are getting enough energy to support efficient muscle growth. It can happen within 6 to 8 weeks, but it could take as long as 8 to 12 weeks. So we blanket it and say 6 to 12 weeks to begin muscle, actually truly building muscle. I don't know that there's any proof or research that shows a person can build muscle any faster than 6 weeks. It's a test we could run. If one of you wants to be my test subject and get a DEXA scan in 6 weeks, we could do a 6-week test and find out, or a 4-week test. But thus far, I don't have actual evidence from a reliable body composition scan that shows me you can build muscle any faster than 6 weeks. So I'm going to go with 6 weeks or more. And the last question, how long does it take to stabilize your body weight, body composition, before reverse dieting? Now, I covered this topic of reverse dieting a couple weeks ago on my blog. If you would like to go back out and check out that episode of Hot Tea with Holly, or that blog, I think it's up. I'm not sure if it's been posted yet or not, depending on when you're watching this recording. It might be on my blog. It might not yet be on my blog, but it will be on my blog very soon if it's not there right now. I did a dedicated episode, a live episode of Hot Tea with Holly, which you can find on my Holly Perkins Fitness page if you want to go back and find that episode, all about reverse dieting and what it is. And so a big question that often gets brought up around that topic is, how long does it take to stabilize at my current body weight or body composition before I can start to reverse diet and not gain weight? Now, I have not looked at the research on this specifically, and I'm not sure if there is crystal clear, definitive research on this topic. There may be, there may not be, but I can share my anecdotal evidence from coaching people for 30 years within my programming and what I see and what I've experienced with my own body. And what I will say is, how long does it take to stabilize and really achieve a true homeostasis where the body is before you can begin a reverse dieting protocol? I'm going to say at least 4 weeks, but ideally 12 weeks. So at least 4 weeks, but the longer you can stay where you want your bod, the more likely you're going to stay there forever. Now, this touches upon that concept of set point theory. And I personally do not believe in set point theory, because if you weighed 172 pounds your entire life, does that mean you can't ever get below that? I don't believe it. I've seen it done. Now, it does mean that because of homeostasis, your body is going to want to pull back to that 172 pounds. But the longer you stay at 148 pounds, the longer you stay there, the longer you stay there. The longer that gives your body a chance to truly reach homeostasis so that you can maybe exercise less or maybe eat more and not immediately or quickly go back to that old place that you used to be. I believe the set point theory is really just an opportunity to give a person an excuse to blame on why they can't change their body. But you and I both know someone who has drastically changed their body in big ways, whether it's weight loss or muscle gain or very overweight to super fit. Whatever the transformation is, we all know someone who has done it and maintained it and stayed there. Actually, I'm a great example of it. The majority of my life, adult life, I was above 130 pounds until 12 years ago. And in the past 12 years ago, now I hover around 124. So I now am at easily 10 pounds less than what would have been my set point if there really was a set point theory. So I'm walking, talking proof that I'm not having to resist my body's desire to go back to over 130 pounds. Historically, I was 130 to 135 in the majority of years of my adult life, 130 to 135. So my body is not trying to get back there at all. I exercise less and eat more than I ever have in my entire life, and I still stay right around 123, 124-ish, definitely below 125, unless something very drastic happens that gets me very far off of, away from my habits. So last question, how long does it take to stabilize your body composition before reverse dieting? I would say at least 4 weeks, ideally 12 weeks, but the longer you stay there, the longer you're going to stay put. Questions and comments? Kim, I am almost more obsessed with the Ceylon Indian tea and Earl Grey teas these days. I'm so with you. Earl Grey tea is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I am so with you. So with you. All right, guys, I am going to wrap it up. I'm so glad that you were here today. Thank you for joining me. And if you want to join me live again, I will be here every Tuesday, 1 o'clock on the East Coast for another awesome conversation. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time.